Hello and welcome to the Trish Rock Inspires podcast, where we explore spirituality, intuition, and life so that you can learn a different and greater perspective on who you are, why you are here, and find more meaning and purpose in your life. Please like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your favorite podcasts. But now, sit back and enjoy this episode. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Trish Rock Inspires. And I have the amazing Rachael Greany with me today. I'm super excited to bring you this conversation. After years of seeking change but feeling stuck, Rachael embarked on a transformative journey of self-discovery. Her quest led her to study root cause therapy at the Melbourne Healing Centre, and now she brings this powerful practice to our community. RCT works at the deepest level, healing the root of our issues, whether they began before, during, or after birth. It's about releasing what no longer serves you and embracing a lifelong journey of growth, healing, and freedom. I'm excited to get into this. Welcome, Rachael. Welcome.
Thank you, Trish. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. And I am ever so happy to be here with you today. It's wonderful.
Oh, how wonderful. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this conversation because RCT and some of the other modalities that you practice and help people with, I don't know a lot about. So it's just going to be really lovely to learn more about them and how it's helped you and how it can help anybody who's listening. So let's get started with the root cause therapy, the RCT.
Yeah.
How did it help you initially? How did you get introduced to it? How did it help you in your healing journey?
Excellent. So to begin with, it took me a long time to find it. And I tried lots of different therapies because I knew when you get to that stage, maybe it was early 30s or a bit beforehand, and I just knew this isn't quite the life I want. There was something more. There was something. I had all these anxieties in me, things that I thought I dealt with, but I hadn't. So I tried lots of different therapies. I tried talk therapy, lots of different things. And you know what, Trish, they were all wonderful. Every part of them had a healing effect for me and brought me joy. However, it wasn't until one day my mum had put me on to what we called a regression therapy, and I had no idea what it was all about, but I went and did it, and oh my goodness, there was tears, there was snot, there was everything. But it was so wonderful and so deep, and I think I slept for days because it just released so much. Yeah. And so over the years, I then did sort of still finding my way, and I was always heavily into careers and things that took my time. And then fast forward probably a dozen years, and I'm like, I don't want to do what I'm doing anymore in the normal everyday employment. I mean, I still do, of course. I wanted to bring this to my community. I got to the point where I thought, I was looking back one day over all the different therapies and how I probably started my healing journey late 20s, early 30s. And it was a good 10 years before I thought, I know I've got more healing, because I think that's an ongoing journey in our life, is to keep healing. But then I looked around for this regression and I was trying to find somewhere to study. And then I just come across the Centre for Healing in Melbourne, and Melissa founded that, and she was just phenomenal. So all the points came together. I studied, I still study, and then I'm like, yes, I've found it. This is what I want to bring into the community so that I can help people and they're not having to spend years and years So I'm hoping to give them the shortcut to their healing.
Yeah, yeah, and it is ongoing, isn't it? No, and the first thing you said is, starting this healing journey in your 20s or late 20s. I think that in itself is really brave, because sometimes people don't start till much later on, like me. So I think that is just so wonderful, and I also don't believe anything's random. So you absolutely were meant to be there studying that, bringing
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah,
And it's always been something that's very much in my heart and my soul, that there was something more that I needed to be doing for people, and to know now that I've actually found it, it's humbling to be invited to be on someone's healing journey, because there's just so much that root cause therapy can offer people.
yeah, absolutely. And so, what were the biggest changes in your life? Do you think that happened after that? I mean, I love the clarity of your purpose, and wow, this is why I'm here. Once again, a lot of people don't find that till much later in life. So that in itself is incredible, that you found something that you resonated with so much.
Hmm.
But what other changes have you seen in your life with and your clients' lives with this?
Yeah. Probably the biggest thing for me is not being so fiery. Like growing up, I could I would fire up, I would be angry, and it got to the point where it's like, hang on, this is not, because when someone makes me angry and I get angry, I hold on to that for so long, and it takes hours for anger to actually settle in our bodies.
Yeah,
And so through the root cause and through the regression, and it takes me back to when something first started. And
right.
then I was able to see those events as a child, but now look at them as an adult. So looking down on them and go, hang on, I've got a whole different concept of why, how, when that happened. And now I can start healing. And actually, someone and the neighbour stuck their head over the fence and got a bit cranky at something I was doing in my yard. And straight away, I got triggered, and I could feel that. Ooh. And I just stopped. I breathed. I
Yeah,
gave myself a moment, and I could feel where in my body that was. And it
yeah,
took me straight back to the root cause of why that triggered me. And I was able to then see that event with love, compassion, and know that I'm not that person anymore. So and all this happens really quickly. So
yeah.
rather than acting out and being angry at said neighbour, I just went, oh, look, I'm sorry you feel that way, but this is my yard, and I think this will be brilliant down the track. So I can handle things a lot differently now.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, because yeah, we get triggered, don't we?
Oh,
And by so many things in life. And I was in that kind of blaming the world for everything, all of my misery, for a long time, at least a decade that I was aware of, right? And you have those interactions with people, and it's like, well, it's all your fault that I'm miserable, or it's all your fault that I'm now angry, or it's all your fault that I'm whatever. When ultimately, really, they've just come along as a blessing to trigger this in you, so you can clear it. And I love the
yes.
awareness of that, and what a gift that is to your clients, to have that awareness, and not only that, to clear it. Right?
Absolutely, because I mean, one beautiful, beautiful lady comes to mind. She was just, God bless her, she was beautiful. And she came to me, we had a few sessions, and her was all about, why do I keep getting the same relationship pattern? So, what it was, the root cause of that was, unfortunately, a mother who didn't want her. She always favoured the son. So life was, as a child, was very, very difficult for this beautiful woman I worked with. we were able to then start unraveling of that. And then she could see why she always attracted. All of her relationships were some sort of emotional or physical abuse. Now, as a child, if that's all you know, how can you possibly accept anything else?
Yeah.
Your ego would not cope with this wonderful man coming and sharing love and everything with you, because that's foreign. You're like, go away. I'm going to run from this because I don't know.
Yeah.
Whereas we worked through that and we were able to give forgiveness. Now, forgiveness isn't saying that the way mum and brother treated her was acceptable. Far from it. But it certainly lets a load off you to be able to move forward with love in your heart and learn from that and understand nothing you did was your fault.
Yeah, I love that. And that's going to be really powerful for the people listening, because it's such a big thing. Like, so many people don't know why they keep attracting the same relationships in. And so, to actually clear that is amazing.
Absolutely.
And yeah, yeah. Do you ever find some of the root causes coming from other lifetimes as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when we absolutely, and this was something really foreign to me because I didn't comprehend when I first started. However, when we first start a session, we pick something that we're going to work on, and the opening is asking, because you're dealing with the subconscious, did this happen before, during, or after birth? And some people will go, what? Now, as a mum carrying your child, that mum, it goes through an array of emotions out of this world. Now, depending on mum's pregnancy and all those emotions, that is feeding through to your child. So it is not uncommon for a client to say in their subconscious to me during birth. I've had one lady, she's always felt that something was missing, and she's now, through our session, realised that during birth, there was actually two babies.
Oh, wow.
There was a twin. Hence why she's always had this deep feeling that something is missing, there's something missing. And that was her aha moment, is I'm not crazy, I now understand. And that was amazing in itself, because she was able to communicate and understand the twin didn't leave because of not liking her, but the twin knew that her role was there, and twin had another role in life that had to go and do.
Yeah.
To some people, that might be a bit crazy. However, it's our sessions are individual, and nothing is crazy, because this is what you're understanding about yourself.
Absolutely. And I find the same in my work, that just a little shift in perspective sometimes brings so much peace to people. And just that change in perspective for her, knowing that it wasn't her fault that the twin wasn't there, and that was her life path and the twin's life path. I mean, that brings so much peace, doesn't it? And so does forgiveness. Forgiveness is a big thing, a really big thing. And I say that to people too. Forgiving someone doesn't condone them for anything, but it brings you a bit more peace and not carrying all that stuff around.
Trish, absolutely. It's not for them, it's for you. It is honestly for you. And I see that so many times in our sessions, where people will say, I never ever thought I could forgive that, but they do. And it's purely for you. One of my very own sessions that I've had is, it was before birth, and it took me way back to, I was like this some little caveman. It was just hilarious. It was so funny. So yeah, the sessions can actually be really fun. So we can do past life. So what were you in your past life? How did you die? What lessons did you have to learn? And often people will give me a list of questions and say, oh, I really want to know, what was my relationship with this person? Because I feel like I've known them before. And so we can uncover, what was this person for you? Or what did you do in your last life? Did you achieve it? What can that tell you now? How can you bring that into your life today and achieve what you need to do in this life?
Yeah, I love that. And, root cause therapy mixed in with that past life regression, it's really powerful, isn't it? Yeah. And
Truly, truly is.
do you find in your work, I mean, I know this past, even just this past 8 months so far of this year, or 10 months, sorry. You see, I'm still back in July.
Oh, it's crazy.
I looked at the date today and I thought, gosh, I was 60 3 months ago. Where did that go? Now we're in October. But I think especially this year, and I noticed it last year as well, there is far more people wanting to find that meaning in their life rather than being in blaming mode of life and
Yes.
being kind of that robotic, kind of human that so many of us have been over generations and generations. And now this lifetime is the one that so many people are now emerging into their full meaning and why they're here. And, your work is a beautiful conduit to that. It's very powerful. So you were seeing a lot more people wanting to, really wake up to a more empowered life.
Absolutely. And Trish, it is beautiful that this is happening, and it's an awakening of our souls. We're understanding that there is more to life. We don't just have to be the generations that were. We can now start stepping into our own. And the other thing that I am really loving to be a part of and to see is the number of men who are now coming forward to change their habits. And it is truly beautiful.
Yes.
Trish, some of the deepest sessions I have are with the men folk.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I love that they're stepping up as well because
Yes.
they've really had a hard time of it of late.
Look, they have. And look, I love men. I think that unfortunately men have been raised to be the worker, the provider, everything. We're the emotional ones.
Yeah.
But now to see men coming forward, and men are understanding that when you heal, you're not just healing you, they're healing everybody that's going to come after them. They're healing their generations. They're healing their sons, their daughters. They are the hands-on dads that want to do the best they can. And that means having a look inside. What don't I like? What's not quite working? What can I do? And it's, oh my goodness, their sessions are just phenomenal.
Oh, it gives me goosebumps. I just
Oh,
think it's so wonderful that more and more men are stepping into that and having the courage, and a lot more men's groups are popping up to support that as well. But for them to be saying, also for them, I want more from life. I want more meaning in life. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. So
absolutely.
yeah,
It's just wonderful, and it's very humbling, and I'm very blessed to be on my journey where I can actually help them, and men, women, it's beautiful to see. And you just meet some amazing people who have got some amazing stories, and just see their smile, and you work through, there's tears and there's snot and there's just constant, but then you work through it and you can just see that, that weight is being lifted, and it's truly beautiful.
absolutely. Oh, well, it sounds like you're just supporting people in very magical ways.
Yeah, it's just I love it, Trish. I absolutely love it.
I can see, I can feel it, I can feel it. And so, Rachel, so you do the past life progressions, you do the root cause therapy. Is there other modalities also that you integrate into what you do?
So one of the really fun sessions that we also do is our future healing. So this is generally we have about 2 or 3 root cause, and then we finish off with a future healing. And this is beautiful. It's light, it's fun, and it's basically, it's your subconscious telling you, okay, girl, listen up. This is what you need to do to achieve. I'm showing you what your future can be like, but I'm also now telling you, how you can achieve it. And everyone just walks away with the giggle and a smile, and it's just so beautiful. So it's like, hey, I'm showing you this is what you can get, and this is what you've got to change to get there. So it's yourself telling you how to get there.
I love that, because sometimes after we do this deep work, we don't have a roadmap to what's next, do we? Yeah.
Exactly. And by doing the road work and by getting there, it's clearing our subconscious. It's taking that load off, and it's lighting the way for what our future actually can be.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, how wonderful. Now, Rachel, your business is called Dragonfly Blue.
Yes.
It's a beautiful story. Tell us a little bit about why you named it that.
Okay, so I have always had an affinity with dragonflies, and I remember even as a little girl, whenever I saw them, my eyes would light up and I would smile, and I just thought they were so magical. They were like fairies, and they were just the most magical creature, and they're just flitting here and there, and I just loved them. And as you get older, you understand about a dragonfly. Dragonflies basically born in the swamp, let's say, and they just come up out of that mud and water, and they bring smiles and magic to everybody. It's their reforming themselves, their light, their energy. It's everything about what I want people to see that they can be as well. You can transform yourself. A leopard may not change its spots, but we can change our habits. People change all the time. Dragonflies are changing, they're evolving. They've been around for millions of years. They're resilient.
Yeah.
And blue is my most favorite color. Blue is fresh, it's new beginnings, it's the sky, it's the ocean. You can't be angry when there's blue around.
No.
So hence Dragonfly Blue.
Oh, I love it. They are such magical creatures. I mean, I get super excited when I see one flittering around in the garden. Dragonfly.
Yes, and it is. It's just, and for a lot of people, dragonflies is someone from heaven or a loved one that's no longer with them. So a dragonfly brings so much peace and love to so many different people for different reasons. But yeah, that's why I have called Dragonfly Blue.
Oh, how beautiful. It certainly typifies your magic as well that you bring to people's lives. So I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love it. And I love the blue as well. And, blue is also very healing. And it's also about communication. And, that's really, a big part of what you're doing as well. So perfect colour. And it is nice and calming, I find, as well.
Yes, thank you. It is.
It is. Now, Rachel, you've got a wonderful offer for everybody who's listening in today. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
I would love to, Trish. Thank you. So everybody is entitled to their 20-minute free consult. Root cause therapy is relatively new in the scheme of people understanding what the therapy is. So a 20-minute free consult, which you can book time and dates. I work nights, I work weekends. I sort of not the standard Monday to Friday, because that's not everyone can access those times. So 20-minute free consult, we talk about what you'd like to uncover. I explain to you what a session looks like and how it's going to be for you. Anybody that then books a root cause therapy session with me and mentions that, Trish, it was from your podcast, then I will gift them a second session. So that second session can be of their choice. It could be a future healing, a past healing, a life between life, or another root cause therapy session. I also do Akashic records. for people perhaps are wanting to dive into business or want to achieve a goal, then the Akashic records will go through and clear those obstacles for them. So book one root cause therapy session, and then you can have any choice of one of those other sessions, and I will give that to you.
So generous and such a powerful offer. I would highly recommend everyone listening to get into the description of this podcast, wherever it is, below or next to it, and click on that link and book a session with Rachael. And I know even just, you know, as soon as you say hello, people will feel better. You've got just such a beautiful, vibrant energy. Yeah.
Thank you, Trish. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So all of the links for how you can book that in, and also connect with Rachael at Dragonfly Blue on socials and over on her website is all in the description. And for someone listening today who is kind of in that spot, you know, where they are kind of like their intuition and their awareness and their soul is like, it's time, but they've still got this ego mind going, no, I'm scared. What advice would you give them to really start taking that step?
If I can speak directly to that person, because I have been that person.
Right.
I will never tell anybody that healing is easy, because it isn't. But the fact that you are thinking about it, that you know something has to change, oh, my darling heart, just take the step. And honestly, whether it was with me or anybody, find somebody that resonates with you and that you feel comfortable with, and just start it. Because before we know it, Trish, as you just said, it's not July anymore, it's October. And before we know it, 10 years have passed, 15 years have passed. Love, appreciate yourself enough to be the best version that you can be, and love that inner child enough to let her or him flourish into the adult that you deserve to be. Just make a start.
Yeah, I love that. Really powerful. Definitely just make a start. And, you know, even watching this or reaching out to you is making a start. And I think sometimes I know for a lot of my clients or people I speak to, they're, you know, taking that first action can be quite scary, because they're like, oh, you know, and they're already 20 steps ahead of themselves, and that scares them. But taking an action could just be simply having a conversation with you, or you know, saying yes to themselves. Yeah,
Absolutely. And book that 20-minute consult. It's not going to cost you anything, and there is no judgment. Do not be ashamed of anything that you think is going to come up. When, like yourself, Trish, when you work in the healing space, we have heard it all before. We're not judging. We are simply here to guide you. It does not matter what you tell me.
yeah.
You are safe. You are secure. All of my sessions are online, so you can feel safe at home. You're relaxed on the lounge or wherever it is that you feel most relaxed. Beautiful. In your environment, and you are not judged. I am here to listen and guide you for whatever needs to get off your chest. It's all good.
Yeah, I love that. And yes, you just be like a big warm blanket of love supporting people. So I love that.
Absolutely. Because you know what, we all need that. Even healers need healings, and we all need that. I will never stop healing. I will never stop uncovering things that still need that little bit of attention.
Absolutely. And that is the exact words that are opposite to judgment. Why would you judge someone for something they're going through when really you're just uncovering why they're going through it and healing it? So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure and honor having you on the podcast. I know this is going to really help a lot of people, and especially explaining the root cause therapy, because there may be people who haven't heard of it before, and hopefully they'll come and have a chat with you and change some things, learn more about why they are like they are.
Absolutely. It's never dull. It's always very exciting, and you learn things about yourself all the time. So yes, I look forward to speaking to as many people as I can, and helping people on their journey.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. It's been amazing. Thank you. And
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for joining us today for this amazing episode of Trish Rock Inspires. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.